Hi, I'm Justin. That's a Bloodpelt Hunter, and this is just mini painting. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a video. I'm painting the Bloodpelt Hunter from Age of Sigmar in the Citadel Contrast Paint range. Alright, let's do this audio in one take. Okay, I've started here with Dark Oath Flesh. That's a over a zenithal highlight of black and greys up to a bit of white. I've used a few of the skin colours lately, and that was my favourite. Here is the signature colour of the commission work that I'm doing. This is the 16th model that I've painted in this particular colour scheme, including Kragnos. If you want to see him, go to my Instagram, Just Mini Painting. There's a couple of underscores in between. He was a delight to paint, and this guy's quite fun too. So right now I'm using Griffhound Grey. That orange, by the way, is Griffhound Orange. This is Griffhound Grey. These two go great together. I love them. I'm going over all the metals with that one. Now, this is Wildwood. It's the dark brown contrast paint of the range. I'm going to paint everything that's, well, brown obviously, but also everything that's white, which actually I think in this case is really only that pelt on his back. That's Fast and Furious. It's Black Templar. If you use Black Legion, it's a lot less contrast, more flat. But all these contrast paints that are this dark, like the Wildwood and the Black Templar, are great for shading as well. That's why I do them last. I start with the light colours and work my way up. Light colours and bright colours like the orange. And then work darker and darker and darker. That's Agaros Earthshade, and the rock was Rat something Grime. Oh no, I forgot it. Rattling Grime. There you go. And now I'm doing a wash the metals, I think. That Kellian. I'll wash now with the Wildwood. And Black Templar. Even with the zenithal highlight, you got to darken up the colours that you've put on there. Not so much the light colours, you don't want too much on that. Whoop, he's upside down. Alright, so I'm putting Ghoul Grunter fur, which is what I used for his shield on his belly. Put Ghoul Grunter fur and a Kellian over the metals and everywhere else. And now for some highlights. Kislev flesh. Kislev flesh. Over his flesh. Now I'm using a new paintbrush there, but it's just a cheap one you can get. I got that from my local gaming store. A couple of dollars. Added some pale sand. A great colour for highlighting. Shout out to Dana Howe. Check out her channel. She does what I do, only heaps better and for much longer. And yeah, that pale sand is part of my repertoire now, thanks to her. That is a wonderful gift as an artist. To take something away from this video, take that away. Use pale sand as a fantastic highlight. I think it's better than white just because it seems to be stronger. Now this is Rakarth flesh over everything that's going to be white, which is again this fur, and I love this fur. This fur turned out great. You can just do successive layers of it to build it up. Once again, the zenithal highlight's a good start, but it's not everything. You could probably just paint in or one light colour, light grey or light yellowish colour, beige. So I've chucked in some white here to make even more highlights stand out. A bit of pelt on the front. His rear left leg of the fur. Yeah, they did great work on that fur when they made that model. I realised that was bones coming out the side there, his ribs on the fur. I painted up a different colour. I didn't know what to do with that arm at this point. There's an arm hanging off the back of him there. Pretty savage. And here I am using that mix to highlight all the metals. To be honest, it's one of my favourite parts to watch, especially. Even if it is going pretty fast. I think I got a little bit too close to the camera at this point, and my face might be touching it, so I don't know what I've done with the focus. Oh, there we go. Now, at this point we were trying to make the highlights pretty dramatic, because we are going to use a lot of washes later on to bring it all back in and give it a lot more character. I just kept using this mix. Hadn't planned to use it on all the different colours. I think it was Rakarth flesh, yeah, Rakarth flesh and a little bit of white. Did great as a highlight there. And that there is very bright orange I just used there. Luganath orange Citadel colour. Face on the thing again. That's me trying to get close up. Alright. This is wash time. Now that I've got all the colours for the model on my palette, I can go back to them. I'm going to add that Citadel Contrast medium. Turn it into a wash or a glaze. The difference between a glaze and a wash, I don't really know. But if I had to say what I think, glaze is just a wash that's done over highlights. So a wash is just a glaze done in the shadows. Probably a lot better explanation out there for it. So I'm doing lots of different washes here. I'm going to use the black and the brown, so the black Templar and the Wildwood, but that Alkalian and the Gore Grunter I'm also going to use as well. Put some black back into that. I put a lot of highlights on the black, so to pull that back in. And I use that black as well to make even more shadows on the metal and shadows underneath. If you had the time, you could just successively do highlights and glazes, washes, highlights over and over again. This is me washing in silver, burgundy, especially into the skin and into a lot of other parts as well. It's a nice dark magenta. So if you put enough medium through it, it can be used as a glaze. It's not going to darken your colour too much, but if you leave it stronger, you can use it to do some pretty dark shading. I got it on all the skin, and then at some point I decided, let's just add in that same magenta colour to the metal, simulate blood, and darken that as well. Added in a bit of black. I'm really enjoying the way the fur looks. Really enjoying that fur. And the metals look heaps better now. So I started on that metals with the grey, profound one. Highlighted it up and then added in heaps of different washes of browns. Even the orange comes off as rust. If you put it around things like rivets, it's great for that. You can put it down. Some of these glazes you can put them down when you realise they're too strong. You just come in, because they're so watery, you can come in with more medium and water them down further. I'll do that a lot further on, I think, in this. This is me coming in with a highlight again. This is the blue highlight. This is my attempt at having something equivalent on the cool side that's equivalent to pale sand. Now the metal's looking very dramatic. And if you see that, I just brushed off a bit of paint with my thumb. If you put too much paint on, you can just brush it off. Don't worry about it being perfect. Oh, get back on the screen, little guy. Interesting, for an ogre, not an ogre, it's not Shrek. For an ogre, he's a little guy. I don't have any comparisons next to me though. I didn't put any comparisons on camera. Yeah, sometimes, yep. I'm putting a little bit of Gore Grunter into that chest plate. I've also taken that Alkalian green, added the pale sand into it, and used it as a bit of verdigris on the shield, belly shield. Everyone loves a bit of verdigris. It's dramatic. The metals are kind of great. What I like about, one thing I can tell you about painting that thing is really important when it comes to what colours to use and all that kind of stuff. As long as your dark areas are really dark and your light areas are supposed, the areas are supposed to be bright, the colour you use isn't exactly isn't 100% important. I mean, you can use pale sand, which is like a yellowish colour, to highlight metals. I've done it before, it looks great. And I've used that light blue. What is it? It's from the layer range. I've used the light sea grey on all different types of colours. The white's even, the orange I think a little bit, some of the brown. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that where it's supposed to be bright is bright. So on edges it's bright, in recesses it's dark. If you can get the colour to match perfectly, fantastic. But seriously, the best paint jobs I've seen, they don't match perfectly. It had to be lewd. Saying that, they go wild. Keep your palette. I actually reduced the number of different highlight colours I use for this particular range of models. I started out with a lot more, but they're not. Sometimes it's best to use the same colour for highlighting across all the model because it gives it a unity. Obviously, when it comes to the lighting and stuff like that, you can change that up to make the lighting different, like if you've got OSL and stuff like that. You might want to keep the colours a little bit different. Otherwise you can use Unity. Just adding spot highlights and glazes over and over again. I realised eventually that it was like weird patch on the front of these crossbows. Coral? Yeah, coral. Oh, and now he's done. So I painted that acrylic and do the base up. There we go. Alright, close up glamour shots. There he is in all his artsy glory, the Bloodpelt Hunter from the Ogor Moor tribes, the Destruction faction from Age of Sigma. I want to thank Dave, you know who you are, for letting me paint this model. I hope you like it, man. I think it turns out fantastic. I love the magentas and the cyan or the blue in his skin and the metals. What's next for this little guy? Well, I had the camera and the light in my face the whole time, so I couldn't quite get to where I wanted to all the time. I'm going to go through and do some final highlighting, some final shading. See what that looks like on my Instagram later at some point. I want to thank you very much for watching. Like I said down there, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, like it if you did, and share the video if you can. You can visit my store at justminipainting.com. Thank you very much. Have a great day.